14th. Welcome to the St. Louis County Board of Police Commissioners Board meeting for April. Amy, will you please call to order roll?
Commissioner Banks.
Here.
Commissioner Gardner.
Here.
Commissioner Hassler.
Here.
And Commissioner Schwerin.
Here. Thank you. Chief, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Okay, I see one.
Which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And Chief, did you have another in memory announcement for us?
Yes, I would like to ask for a moment of silence. Today is the 32nd anniversary of the death of Detective Lawrence J. McCormick, who was killed in the line of duty. A moment of silence, please, in his memory. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. We will move on to our open discussion. The first item on our agenda is the introduction of 2 new department chaplains.
Members of the police board and chief, it is my honor to present 2 new chaplains for our department. Our first chaplain today is John Ritson. John is from the Episcopal Diocese of Missouri, has extensive chaplain service with the American Red Cross and other institutions, graduate of the University of Missouri and Loyola University, and joins us and will be serving in the in the Fenton precinct. I'm getting nervous in front of the television. I can't believe that. With us today also is our second chaplain, Deacon Paul Arthur. Deacon Arthur is a permanent deacon with the Diocese of Missouri, Archdiocese of St. Louis, and he is serving with the St. Gerard Magella Parish, okay? And he will be serving in the Afton Southwest precinct. Can't believe I'm getting all fumbled up. Anyway, gentlemen, welcome to the department. Chief.
Chaplain, I want to take this opportunity to welcome you to the department family. We hope you have a lot of fulfilling years here as a chaplain, and welcome to the family. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Little memento.
Thank you.
Deacon Arthur, again, I want to welcome you to the police department. I hope you have many years of great service here. We both appreciate your willingness to do this and the volunteer spirit and helping our police officers, because they greatly appreciate it and really find value in the chaplaincy program here. So welcome to the family.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you very much. On behalf of the board, welcome. Now may we have a crime statistics update?
Sorry, 1 second. All right. Good morning. My name is Sarah Van Wert. I'm a police analyst with the Bureau of Research and Analysis. Lieutenant Hampton's not here today, so I'll be doing the crime update for this month. So overall, for our notable events, we're relatively consistent with where we were last year. The two things I would say are noteworthy are the vehicle accidents and the vehicle pursuits are still up for the year. The accidents are not up a terribly large amount. The pursuits are still up quite a bit, and we're currently speculating that that's due to the real-time crime efforts that we've been doing as a department. As for crime data, so far this year, we're seeing increases in homicides as well as a decrease in aggravated assaults. While we have a decrease in aggravated assaults overall, we have seen a slight increase in aggravated assaults with firearm as the weapon. So that's still something we need to be watching as a department. For crimes against property, we've been seeing reductions year to date in burglaries still, which is due to the pandemic. We've also, so far this year, seen a reduction in thefts from motor vehicles, though in March, we saw a large increase in those compared to the previous months. Additionally, motor vehicle thefts, which have been up for the last year or so, we saw a decrease in those last month and are down for the year. Finally, for crimes against society, we're seeing a slight increase in weapon law violations in 2021 compared to the first quarter of 2020. I think that that is a good thing. It implies that our officers are going out and self-initiating more things to get more guns that are incorrectly on the streets off the streets. There's nothing terribly noteworthy in our calls for service this month. They're pretty much in line with where we would expect them to be. And as for traffic stops, we're starting to see more traffic stops again. The numbers are starting to return to pre-COVID levels. They're still a little bit reduced. So we'll be keeping an eye on those moving forward this year. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none, I will move on. May we have our first quarter report on the 2021 budget?
Absolutely. Hi. So the first quarter is pretty standard. Our budget is 156 million and we've spent 119 million. That's about 24% of the budget, which is right on target. The only real noteworthy, categories are salaries and fringes, which we've spent 21%, whereas overtime we spent 28%. And I think that goes back to the fact that we have about 30 vacancies. So that allows us to have a little bit of a surplus that covers the overtime. And really, that's really about all I have. In May, we'll be starting the 2022 budget process, which is always fun. And we'll get to see, what directions we get from the budget office next door for what, how much we can change our budget. Anybody have any questions?
If we project overtime expenses going forward for the next 3 quarters, or I guess I should ask first, have we projected?
Yes, well, at that amount, we are projecting that we'll be short, by about $1 million. We have 4.1 budgeted and we are expecting it to be 5. But, that's based on what we spent year to date. So it just depends on what kind of events occur that drive up that overtime. But right now we're looking really good. So if things stay steady, we should be okay.
Any other questions? Hearing none, I will thank you for the report.
Okay, thank you.
And we will move on to an update on our work with Teneo and implementation of our action item strategy, which we discussed in our last meeting.
Well, first off, I would like to say that we have been in contact with Teneo. As you know, we entered into an arrangement with them, an agreement for services to help facilitate the implementation of many aspects of the plan that was submitted to us. We had a phone conversation shortly, about approximately a week ago, and representatives from Teneo will be at the police department this coming Monday. I believe it's the 19th and 20th. They will be on site here to get us rolling on our implementation plan and what they see driving factors of what they consider to be really important. Over and above that, some of the things that we have been working on prior to their visit is, as you know, in the Teneo report, they talked about revision and review to some policies, specifically evidence and property, use of force, complaint review procedure, workplace harassment, and social media. And these have been under revision. They are now or will be sent to internal stakeholders to get input on it. And we hope to have these completed and ready for review and signature for the board in the next coming months, definitely by the end of 2021. Also, some of the things they mentioned and Councilman Fitch mentioned regarding the Teneo recommendations and cost related to them. I took the the long-term ones that were most expensive, and which was the property control and evidence tracking, new property control facility, upgrade of the CAD system, which is a high priority here, increased staffing of another full unit in this special response unit, and the additional body worn cameras, and the improvement to technology. The initial startup costs for all those programs, as recommended, is $24.8 million and does not include the ongoing cost of yearly personnel salaries. But that was just 6 of the main recommendations. So one of the things that I hope to discuss with Teneo when they come here is possibly identifying or giving us some positive roadways to finding funding for those items, or to be able to make changes to them without huge capital outlay. So that is what we worked on since the last board meeting. I will have more once they respond here on Monday. Are there any questions, ma'am?
Any questions from the board? Hearing none, thank you for the update.
Thank you.
The next item on our agenda is the approval of minutes from the meetings on March 16th, March 23rd, and March 31st, 2021. Do I have a motion for approval of those minutes?
I move that those minutes from March 16th, March 23rd, and March 31st be approved.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Those meetings will be approved and posted. Next on our agenda, letters and communications. Amy, do we have any letters or communications to hear?
No, ma'am, I have not received any communications for you.
Thank you. Any old business? Hearing none, I will move on to the new business. We have several contracts to review and approve for execution. I'll read them out in batches. The first contract is a professional service agreement for advanced police concepts to teach a program at the Police Academy entitled Report Writing for Proactive Patrol. The second is a professional services agreement with Van Meter and Associates to teach a program at the Academy titled Internal Investigations Functions. The next contract is also a professional services agreement with Van Meter and Associates to teach a program titled First Line Supervision. And the next contract is a professional services agreement with Blue Wall Institute to teach a program at the Academy titled Dealing with an Officer in Crisis. May I have a motion to approve these contracts for execution?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? These contracts shall be approved for execution. I next have a professional services agreement with Randy Means and Associates to teach a program at the Academy titled Impact Leadership. A professional services agreement with Randy Means and Associates LLC to teach a program titled Liability Prevention and Risk Management. A professional services agreement with Fit to Enforce to teach a program at the Academy titled Fitness for Law Enforcement, Train the Trainer. And a professional services agreement with Vista Law Enforcement Training and Consulting to teach a program at the Academy titled Street Encounter Officer Safety Tactics and Techniques. Do I have a motion to approve these contracts for execution?
So
I
moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, these contracts are approved for execution. The next contract is a professional services agreement with Vista Law Enforcement Training and Consulting LLC to teach a program at the Academy titled Corporate Security Advisors Course. A professional services agreement with Vista Law Enforcement Training and Consulting LLC to teach a program at the Academy titled New Detective Workshop. And a professional services agreement with Donald Shimetti to teach a course at the Academy titled Open Response Conflict Resolution, De-escalating Students and Situations. Do I have a motion to approve these three contracts for execution?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, these contracts are approved for execution. We'll next move on to a general order, GO 21-064. I don't know who is going to present that to us.
Hi,
But
my name is Marissa Williams. I'm speaking on behalf of Lieutenant Hampton. I'm in research and analysis. Briefly, GO 64, it was revised with direct input from the members of the Bureau of Communications. And mainly the order features revisions to radio and car numbers based off of new department organization established in the previous general order. Additionally, in January, the department actually discontinued the use of 10 codes for radio transmissions, and they transitioned to plain language in accordance with the recommendations provided by the Department of Homeland Security, the National Incident Management System. So those revisions in that order also reflect the plain language as well.
Any questions concerning this general order or comments or discussion before we vote on it? Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve the general order 21-064 as amended.
I so move.
Second.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the general order is approved. We will next move on to our public forum. Amy, did we receive any comments to read at the public forum section?
We did not receive any public comments for today.
Okay. Well, next on the agenda is a motion to hold closed meeting. The Board of Police Commissioners may vote to go into closed meeting for a review of claims and lawsuits involving the Police Department, Section 610-0211 RSMO and Section 114-0201 SLCRO. Discussion of employee and personnel matters, Section 610-0213 and 13 RSMO and Sections 114-0203 and 13 SLCRO, and an update on union negotiations, Section 610-0219 RSMO and Section 114-0209 SLCRO, and specifications for competitive bidding, Section 610-0211 RSMO and Section 114-0211 SLCRO. Do I have a motion to go into closed meeting?
So
I move
moved.
that we,
Go ahead.
I move that the board go into closed session.
I'll second it.
Amy, will you do a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Gardner,
Yes.
Commissioner Hassler,
Yes.
and Commissioner Schwerin.
Yes. We will now go into closed session. Thank you. We have finished our closed portion of the meeting. Amy, may I have, well, actually, I don't have a motion yet. Is there a motion to close our meeting? Adjourn our meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Amy, will you please conduct a roll call vote on that motion?
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Gardner,
Yes.
Commissioner Hassler,
Is
and
not here.
Commissioner Schwerin.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for listening in. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon, and we will see you in May.